Newly appointed Gauteng Education MEC Matome Chiloane would like police to assist with security at schools in the province after a parent was killed outside a primary school in Soweto after he tried to stop an attempted hijacking. Gauteng Education MEC Matome Chiloane joins us now to discuss how possible this intervention is. MEC, very good afternoon to you. Welcome to Newzroom Afrika and thank you for your time. We learnt with the shock of the gunning down of a parent right outside school premises. I mean, pointing to the issue of safety and security at schools, which is not something new. It's long been under the spotlight. We're just reminded with this tragedy.
Yeah, indeed. Good afternoon to you and good afternoon to your viewers. Indeed, this is a tragedy, as you have said. Hence, we are calling for a support from the police. So the police need to go assist us as a department to go and guard our schools in the morning and in the afternoon, meaning peak times, patrol. So we are currently speaking to the safety department to say if they could avail some of their patrols to go and patrol our schools in the morning and in the afternoon.
So, in terms of how it's all going to work and the time frames that you're looking at, and also speaking to the entire province, I would assume, as you say, that security needs to be beefed up.
For now, we're looking at high-risk areas such as the school Faranani. Faranani is in a high-risk area. That area has no police station in sight. They have a mobile. So in such an area where we know that these are high-risk areas, we want to start there. Can we start? We'll propose that let's start in those schools where we know these schools are in areas where they are prone to such, crime levels are high. Let's go and guard those schools. That is where we're going to start. Not in all schools.
How many schools are you, for instance, earmarking as you speak about the high traffic areas that need urgent intervention?
That will be determined based on the data. I cannot say now the specific number. We're still drafting that proposal as to which schools that we would want intervention on. But all I can say, it will be in the high-risk areas.
In your communication and interaction, you also spoke about making reference to Gauteng Premier Panyaza Lesufi, saying that you're also going to be discussing this with him. What sort of response have you received from him? Because he would know about the security issues within the education department after being, MEC for so long.
Yeah, we're yet to meet with the Premier. But what I can say, I know that he will receive it very well, very positively, because he's aware, as you have said, about the issues of security in our schools, the safety in our schools generally. So I'm optimistic that upon our meeting, we will get a positive feedback. Amongst others, we are going to appeal to get those numbers that he had spoken about, the 6,000 patrols that the Department of Safety, they are planning to recruit. Out of those recruits, can a large number of them focus in our schools?
Yeah, I suppose time is the important aspect here, because the timing is important. We're almost, just a few months away from nearing the December school holidays. But when it comes to your objectives in terms of how soon you want this to happen, have you set a time frame to it?
In the next 2 to 3 weeks, we are going to convene a safety summit. As a department, we'll be inviting stakeholders within the sector and also outside the sector, those who have an interest in the safety of our schools and our learners and our educators. From there, we want to come up with practical proposals that will then be able to guide us as to how we would approach the safety of our schools. So that is an urgent matter. That's something that will be done very soon. So one is targeting at least by the beginning of the first day of school in 2023, there should be deployment in those schools in high-risk areas.
We heard right at the beginning of the year that one of the reasons why there is no security per se in each and every school within Gauteng is because of the high budget constraints, a vast amount of the budget going to teacher salaries. Is there any calls at all, or are you thinking of trying to get some sort of leeway to ensure that security, internal security at schools across Gauteng is prioritized within the budget?
Hence, I'm saying to you that from the summit, we'll get those proposals as to how best to approach. Perhaps the industry can be lenient on us and say, from our CSI, we can deploy some of our securities to assist these schools at no cost to the department. So let's allow us to create that particular framework, and then from that framework we'll take it from there. But yes, we will be looking into that as also part of the solution to resolving our problems, especially of safety in high-risk areas schools.
And going back to the Faranani Primary School incident, that gruesome attack on the parent, how much assistance are you giving as a department? Are you looking to go beyond offering psychological support?
In terms of obviously the department is got limitation as to how far it can go. However, myself as the MEC spoke to the councillor and request the councillor to at least seek a support from the local businesses to assist the family in terms of the funeral and etc. But from our side as a department, there's really we can only go as far as psychosocial support, and also taking into consideration that the learner, the child witnessed the whole incident. We will be keeping a close eye and providing support to the family in that regard. But as to other services, the local councillor I requested that if he could, and then also I requested the office to speak to the Department of Social Development to also come in and see how can they assist the family.
And the learners, pupils within the school themselves are traumatized after witnessing this. Some educators may also. How much feedback are you getting from the school with the intervention that's taking place there?
I'm here to receive a report because obviously the incident was 2 days ago. Yesterday the team was dispatched. But as soon as I get feedback, I'm sure I will be able to communicate it. But so far, I've not received any form of feedback as to how far, what is happening in the school currently.
Are there any short-term plans, MEC? Because the school and some educators, according to our reporter who's been monitoring this, they're still traumatized and they fear of what may happen. Is there any short-term immediate plan to ensure the safety of that specific school?
Yeah, as I've said that obviously safety has been, the Department of Community Safety is engaged to say, can they in the interim find a way of assisting or at least trying to provide some form of visibility in those areas. Secondly, obviously the teachers were providing them with awareness, because obviously for them as well, they're also traumatized. And in the interim, obviously, we need the community. We are calling on the community to also begin to show visibility in protecting our schools. Somehow, even if it's volunteers, whoever, they should come, maybe make a presence in the morning to ensure that at least there's a sense of safety for the learners and the educators. So in the interim, we are hoping that the community will come through. But we are speaking to the Department of Safety around how can it assist in the interim as well, urgently.
Have you had any interactions with the police or an update on any updates when it comes to the arrest of those who were behind this?
No, I have not gotten any update thus far.
Very well, let's leave it there for now. Thank you for your time. Gauteng Education MEC Matome Chiloane speaking to some of the interventions that are being put in place to ensure the safety of schools across the province.